Over the past several decades, Michigan and the Great Lakes region have gotten warmer and wetter. Jeff Andresen, state climatologist and extension agricultural meteorologist for Michigan State University, says the warming has occurred predominantly during the cold season and at night.
The other thing that's interesting about temperature is that the amount of warming has we're actually sort of in a sideways pattern right now. It's leveled off. Our minimum temperatures are still increasing a little bit, but not as much as they did back in the 80s and 90s. We saw a rapid increase at that during those decades. So we're warmer, but I think even more significantly, if you look at any variable, it's the increase in precip. Michigan is definitely significantly wetter than it was at any time. Really, we have essentially about 150 years of reliable climate records. And we can say with, I think, a fair amount of confidence that this has certainly been the wettest decade, our last 10 years on that record. One interesting variable, too, that doesn't get a lot of publicity, but it's also an important one as we look to at the central United States and the Corn Belt as a whole, are warm or unusually warm nighttime temperatures. And one thing that is known clearly physiologically when crops, and I think just right off the bat, corn and soybeans, when we have very warm nighttime temperatures, the plant basically wastes resources when it's really warm, and it undergoes stress. And stress is negative, and there are all the correlations with yield potential are negative. During the growing season, there's evidence that there's a lot of evidence that with more precipitation, that the frequency and severity of droughts now is relatively less. We still have droughts, but they tend to be less severe and, again, less common than they were in the past. That's a positive thing.